Is Jacob Wilson the modern day Derek Jeter? Today on Locked On A's.
You are Locked On A's, your daily podcast on the Athletics, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On A's, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am your host, Booney, one name, all passion. Thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen of the day. I'm from the Bay Area, and I've been a diehard A's fan since '81. This isn't just another A's podcast. This is the most informative and insightful show on the A's, period. We cover the A's every single day, breaking down games, delivering the latest team news, and giving you deep, thoughtful analysis you will not find anywhere else. If it's happening in Sacramento or in Las Vegas, we got you covered. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. And please hit that subscribe button wherever you are following the show. Not only do we cover the A's every day, but now we are giving you instant episodes after every single game. Check out the Locked On A's postgame show approximately 15 to 30 minutes after the final out right here on the Locked On A's podcast feed, as well as streaming on the Locked On A's YouTube channels. Get rapid reaction to all the biggest moments with the Locked On A's postgame show. And if you would like to be a guest and talk some A's baseball, hit me up at X at Locked On A's or email me at lockedonathletics@gmail.com. First, this episode is brought to you in part by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. The A's have a much needed day off today after 16 consecutive days of baseball. And yes, after the 3-game set against the Mariners, I have cooled off a bit. Unfortunately, I did make some comments on last night's show that Mariners may have took offensively. Did I cross the line? And do I owe an apology to Mariners fans, or are fans in general a little too sensitive to some good old-fashioned banter or trash talk? I will address that a little bit later. One thing that should never be mixed is politics in baseball, and in sports for that matter, but it seems that it is more glaring everywhere we turn. Has baseball and or sports lost its purity because of politics? And am I part of the problem? I'll definitely talk about that in a few minutes. First, in the world of baseball, certain players seem destined to carry the weight of greatness. They step onto the diamond with an air of quiet confidence, their movements fluid, their instincts sharp, and their drive to win unmatched. Derek Jeter, the iconic Hall of Fame shortstop and captain of the New York Yankees, was undoubtedly one of those players. Today, as the A's rookie shortstop, Jacob Wilson, has begun his journey, it's hard not to notice the striking similarities between these two athletes, separated by decades but connected by their approach to the game of baseball. Let's start with the beginnings of their careers. The year was 1992 when Derek Jeter, a young shortstop from Kalamazoo, Michigan, was selected 6th overall in the MLB draft by the New York Yankees. Fast forward to 2023, and Jacob Wilson finds himself in a remarkably similar position, chosen as the 6th overall pick in the first round by the A's. The symmetry is uncanny, but it's what they have shown on the field that truly ties these two players together. Both Jeter and Wilson are known for their unique presence at the plate. Watching them bat is like witnessing a choreographed dance. There's a lot of movement in their stance, subtle adjustments, a rhythm that seems to flow with the pitcher's delivery. It's not chaotic, it's calculated. Their ability to stay balanced and composed allows them to make consistent contact with pitches all over the zone, whether it's a fastball on the outer edge or a breaking ball down and in. Both players have shown an uncanny knack for putting the ball in play. And where do those hits go? Everywhere. Jeter earned a reputation as one of baseball's best all-field hitters in baseball history, spraying line drives to right field, left field, and everywhere in between. Wilson, though still early in his career, is already showing signs of being cut from the same cloth. He doesn't try to do too much. He takes what the pitcher gives him and drives the ball to all fields. This ability to hit for average is a hallmark of both players, a sign of their disciplined approach and sharp eye at the plate. But don't mistake them for slap hitters. While neither Jeter nor Wilson is known as a prototypical power hitter, they both possess surprising pop in their bats. Jeter had a knack for delivering clutch home runs when it mattered most. Just ask Yankee fans about his postseason heroics. Wilson, though still proving himself, has shown glimpses of that same unexpected power. It's not just about hitting for average. They can change the game with one swing when needed. Defensively, both players have faced their share of criticisms, for sure, particularly when it comes to their throwing arms. Early in Jeter's career, skeptics questioned whether he had the arm strength to stay at shortstop long term. Wilson has heard whispers about his defensive capabilities and arm strength. But here's where both players silenced their doubters. Through sheer excellence on the field, Jeter went on to win 5 Gold Gloves during his storied career, making countless highlight reels that are etched into baseball lore. Wilson may still be in his rookie season, but his instincts, range, and highlight plays he has made so far this year suggest that he could follow a similar path. Defense is as much about positioning and anticipation as it is about raw arm strength, and both players excel in those areas. Perhaps the most compelling connection between Jeter and Wilson lies in their intangibles, the qualities that don't show up in the box scores, but define who they are as players and teammates. Jeter was known as one of the fiercest competitors in baseball history, whether it was diving into the stands to make a catch or delivering in high-pressure moments. He always put his team first. Wilson exhibits that same competitive fire. He plays every game as if it is his last, always focused on doing whatever it takes to help his team win. There's also a quiet leadership about both men. Jeter became the captain not because he demanded it, but because he earned it through his actions on and off the field. While Wilson is just beginning his career, there's already a sense that he could develop into a similar type of leader, a player who leads by example and inspires those around him. It's rare to find such parallels between players from different eras, but Derek Jeter and Jacob Wilson seem to share a special connection. From their draft positions to their hitting styles, defensive resilience, and competitive spirits, they embody what it means to be true professionals in the game of baseball. Of course, Wilson's story is still being written. Jeter's career ended with a plaque in Cooperstown and countless memories for Yankee fans around the world. For Wilson, the journey is just beginning. But if these early comparisons are any indication, he may very well carve out a legacy of his own. A few months back, I had Scott Brosius on the show, who is a former Athletic and a World Series MVP for the Yankees, who played across Derek Jeter for a number of years. If you are an everydayer, you have heard me talk about the importance of culture on a team and what it means. Scott Brosius talked exactly about that culture and what it was like playing across Derek Jeter.
but every team has talent. And so culture does matter, the direction of the team. And so I saw it from day one, literally the first day in spring training. So, you get traded to a team and you've played against guys and you know them at some level, but you don't know them until you're in the clubhouse with them. And so I'm sitting with Tino Martinez and Paul O'Neill and Bernie Williams and these core groups of guys, Derek Jeter, and we're in just these morning conversations about baseball, about whatever. And it was so apparent from the first day on, there was not a single conversation about contracts, about what I hope to do this year on the field, anything else. It was about, we're getting back to the World Series. We're going to win this thing this year. We're getting back. There was no talk about personal ambitions, personal goals. It was all about the team and how do we win, and the fact that there was just this tremendous drive to get back, to the playoffs and to the World Series and win it.
You played with Derek Jeter right across him for a number of years. What was it like playing with him? Was his approach different? How was he as a teammate? Or just was that whole Yankee team just a bunch of Derek Jeters?
Both. Yes. I think the whole team was, again, about winning, was about team goals, not personal goals. And that's who Jeter was. And so, for me, when I got there in 98, he was basically a third-year player. Right. But he was well above his years, or beyond his years. He was mature. He played the game with maturity. He handled everything off the field with maturity as well. A young rising star in New York, there's a lot of distractions out there, and he was not distracted. He played the game. He came to play every day. He was kind of like those guys that, all of our guys that fierce competitiveness, but also enjoy the act of playing the game. So enjoying yourself on the field, relax, but fierce, team first. You need a ground ball to second base to move a guy to third base. With nobody out, he'll do it. He doesn't care about the batting average. He cares about getting the job done. And so that's who we were. He came into a team that was like that. But that was who he was. That was his personality as well. And it's really one of the reasons for his greatness was the fact that, the difference between, to me, good teams become great when your best players are the most accountable. Right. When your best players aren't the prima donnas, they're the ones who are driving the bus, and that's who he was, and that's who the Yankees were. Is we didn't have stars on the team. We did, but nobody thought they were. Nobody acted that way. They felt that they were a part of the whole of the team.
In baseball, we often look to the past to understand the present and glimpse into the future. Derek Jeter set the standard for what it means to be a shortstop who can do it all. Hit for average, delivering clutch moments, play stellar defense, and lead with humility and grace. Jacob Wilson has big shoes to fill, no question. But if he continues on this path, he could one day be mentioned in the same breath as one of baseball's all-time greats. For now, all we can do is watch and marvel at how history has a way of repeating itself on the diamond. When I think about comparing Jeter and Wilson, I think of baseball in its purest form, which brings me to the intersection of politics and baseball or sports. Has baseball lost its purity? And am I part of the problem? Up next. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades. Supply House. Whether you are in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you will find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you will always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. The Yankees come to Sacramento to open up a 3-game set beginning tomorrow, and it will be hot. You know what hot and Sutter Health equals? It equals over galore for hitters. Judge over, Rooker over, Butler over, Wilson over. I don't care who it is or what the bet is. I'm taking the over. Imagine taking an over on a $5 bet to get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Baseball, often referred to as America's pastime, has long been a symbol of unity, tradition, and escape. For generations, it has provided a sanctuary where people from all walks of life can gather, cheer, and revel in the simple beauty of the game. It's a place where the crack of the bat and the roar of the crowd drown out the noise of the outside world. But lately, a question has emerged that cuts to the heart of what baseball and sports in general truly means to us. Has the purity of sports, baseball, been tainted by the ever encroaching presence of politics? The A's and John Fisher is a great example, but I want to dive into it more as a whole rather than the specifics of the A's saga, which we have heard way too often. In an increasingly polarized world, it seems no corner of our lives is immune to political discourse. Sports, once a safe haven of neutrality and shared joy, now often finds themselves at the center of cultural debates. While some argue that athletes and leagues have a responsibility to use their platforms for societal change, others lament to the intrusion of politics into what should be a unifying experience. This tension is particularly glaring in baseball, a sport that has historically served as a refuge from the chaos of life. Baseball is a therapy. It's a timeless escape. Life is challenging. We are bombarded daily with stressors, work deadlines, family responsibilities, financial pressures, and an endless stream of headlines that remind us of the divisions in our world. For many, baseball offers something rare and precious: a few hours of a break from the grind. There's something almost magical about stepping into a ballpark. The green expanse of the field, the smell of freshly cut grass, the sound of vendors calling out for peanuts and Cracker Jacks. It's an experience that takes us back to simpler times. Baseball doesn't just entertain, it heals. It gives people a chance to unplug from their worries and immerse themselves in something pure and unifying. In those 9 innings, it doesn't matter who you voted for or what your stance on a particular issue is. What matters is whether your team can turn that double play or hit a walk-off bomb. Strangers high five in the stands, families bond over hot dogs and shared traditions. For a brief moment, the divisions that plague our society melt away, replaced by the camaraderie of fandom. This is the essence of baseball's purity, a purity rooted not just in the game itself, but in its ability to bring people together. It's a reminder that despite our differences, we share common joys and passions. Yet, in recent years, the purity has been increasingly overshadowed by political discourse. Whether it's players taking public stances on social issues, teams making statements on controversial topics, or leagues navigating complex political waters, it feels as though politics is becoming linked with sports. To be clear, athletes and organizations have every right to express their views. Sports have historically played a role in social change, from Jackie Robinson's breaking baseball's color barrier to Muhammad Ali's bold stand against the Vietnam War. These moments remind us that sports do not exist in a vacuum. They are part of the broader fabric of society. But there's a fine line between using sports as a platform for progress and allowing politics to overshadow the game itself. When every pitch or swing off the bat becomes a potential flashpoint for debate, it risks alienating fans who come to baseball seeking solace, not division. For many fans, baseball is a sacred ground, a place where they can escape the noise and find common ground with others. When politics seeps into this space, it can feel like an intrusion, forcing them to confront the very issues they were hoping to leave behind at the turn. The beauty of baseball lies in its ability to unite people who might otherwise have little in common. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, young or old, conservative or liberal. When your team takes the field, you're part of something bigger than yourself. You cheer together, groan together, and celebrate together. But when politics enters the question, it risks fracturing this unity. Instead of focusing on what brings us together, we become fixated on what divides us. Fans may begin to view players not as athletes, but as symbols of political ideologies. The game itself becomes secondary. It becomes secondary to the controversies surrounding it. This is not to say that sports should shy away from addressing important issues. There are times when taking a stand is necessary and admirable. But we must also recognize the unique role that sports plays in our lives, a role that is worth preserving. Baseball is just not entertaining. It's a cultural glue that binds us together in an increasingly fragmented world. So how do we protect the purity of baseball and ensure it remains a source of unity rather than division? The answer lies in its balance. Athletes and leagues should feel empowered to speak out on issues they care about, but they must also be mindful of the impact their actions have on fans. Statements and actions should be thoughtful, measured, and rooted in a genuine desire to foster understanding rather than provoke division. Fans as well. We have a role to play as well. We must remember why we fell in love with baseball in the first place. The joy of watching a perfectly executed double play, the thrill of a home run, soaring into the stands, the shared experience of rooting for our teams alongside thousands of others. These moments transcend politics and remind us of our shared humanity. Finally, we must all recognize that sports are not just about winning or losing. They are about a connection. They are about finding common ground in a world that often feels hopelessly divided. Baseball has always been bigger than one player or issue. It's a symbol of resilience, hope, and unity. Has baseball lost its purity because of politics? Perhaps not entirely, but there is no denying that its sanctity is being tested. As fans, players, and organizations, we have a choice to make. Will we allow politics to erode the unifying power of sports, or will we work together to preserve what makes baseball special? Baseball has weathered countless storms over its long history, wars, economic turbulence, scandals, and emerged stronger each time. It can endure this challenge too, but only if we remember what makes it more than just a game, its ability to bring us together when everything else seems to pull us apart. Have I been part of the problem regarding the A's saga and moving to Las Vegas? Have I brought politics into baseball, into sports? I've had my strong opinions. It's alienated individuals, no question. Have I made comments that were not solicited? Am I part of the problem? Yes. I would say yes to all of the above. And sure, there are times where I have been a hypocrite, not intentionally, but no question. My main criticism has been the divide the A's move to Vegas has caused. And I have expressed my opinion based on what I feel is fact. And in the process, I have not thought of others. Although I feel those comments, opinions are strong, they have caused divide and they have been selfish. They weren't designed to unify. They were designed to win. To say, I'm right, you're wrong. For sure. For sure. My opinion, my statements, and what I have brought to the table, no matter how big the audience is, no matter how small the forum is, no question about it, I have been part of the problem. And I need to get better because baseball and sports is not about the individual. And it's the only place we have a common ground. And when anybody tries to shake that common ground, yeah, they are part of the problem. Let us cherish those few hours when life's challenges fade away and we are reminded that some things like baseball are worth keeping sacred. Looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they are packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. Personally, I love the no shells variety. It's the perfect grab and go snack for busy days. Whether I'm snacking at my desk, on a road trip, or just need a quick protein boost, they are always my go-to. And if you love cracking open every shell for that satisfying crunch, the in-shell options are a classic favorite. The fact that Wonderful Pistachios is a complete protein, providing all 9 essential amino acids. How these little green wonders pack a protein punch. No shells, Wonderful Pistachios for that grab and go ease. The satisfying crack of opening each shell. It's like snack meditation. Whether you are running between meetings or dropping off the kids, Wonderful Pistachios are the snack that works as hard as you do. Get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. On last night's show, I made some comments that Seattle Mariner fans have messaged me, emailed me, and they took some offense to those comments I made. What I basically said, and this was in response to the games I attended, games 2 and 3, was I said that where does the Seattle Mariner fans get the nerve to talk banter or crap, considering they have not won a World Series title, and that the Savannah Bananas and the Seattle Mariners have had the same amount of World Series titles? Did I cross the line? Do I owe an apology? Or are fans getting a little too sensitive? First and foremost, what I didn't do a good job of was qualifying my comments. I went to games 2 and 3 of the 3-game set against the Mariners, and there were probably more Mariner fans than there were A's fans, which has been a common theme at Sutter Health Park. The Seattle fans I did come across, whether we were having friendly banter with each other or natural conversations, whether sitting next to them at the concession stands, whatever it may be, were awesome. Had a great time. Unbelievable people. And the banter I said last night was meant for exactly that, banter. It was the same type of banter I told them at the game. But again, when you do have that interaction, there's more of a feel. There's a tone to it, right? And last night, I don't feel I provided that. I just came off as an angry fan who just lost 2 straight games in frustrating fashion. And it was definitely taken the wrong way. But I understand where they are coming from. I come from a time where friends I still hang out with, that I grew up with, we still talk a lot of crap about each other's teams or whatever it may be. And we've known each other for a long enough time, knowing who we are and where our heart is. And I think I assumed that people would know the same about me. And I was wrong to think that. So yes, for those that took those comments in a fashion that was offensive or that I was putting down the team or city, I do apologize. I really do. I think Seattle's a lot like the A's, a team that has always been the underdog, been looked down on by the rest of Major League Baseball, been an afterthought. And it's nice for the A's to finally have some sort of rival. So yeah, my frustrations last night were more at the game, and it was friendly banter. But with that being said, hey, it was wrong. Seattle has a hell of a ball club, a really, really, really good ball club. With that being said, the Mariners are playing the Toronto Blue Jays this weekend in Seattle. Sorry to break this to you. Blue Jays are my second favorite team now. I don't know if we are being sensitive, too sensitive, in a world that's run by social media, texting, where it has no tone. It's important to qualify what you're saying more than it ever has been. So while your heart is in the right place, if you're not qualifying it, no one can understand your tone. So no, I think the fans are the same. But how the message is conceived is different by everybody if you don't qualify it. Times have changed where communication is different. And we all got to be weary of that as fans. No question about it, including me. So yes, I do apologize. A lot of apologizing for me today. Not liking it. Let's get back to baseball. And the A's open up a 3-game set tomorrow. I'll be having a live post-game show after the game. I'm doing a crossover episode with the host of Locked On Yankees. That shall be posted tomorrow. And let's go A's. Let's get after it, guys. Thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your pod.